Welcome back to the Stoop, football fans. We are on the Stoop in Brooklyn. It's your boy Lolo. This is Spawny Mark.
Stoop.
We are outside.
When's the last time you saw this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit cold. We're a little bit rusty. Some mic wires showing, but hey, we're back on the Stoop. It's been a while, but it's a new year. Let's kick off with some more football action, you know?
Yeah.
And people thought I was going to run away and hide and not wear any Arsenal gear. I've still been wearing Arsenal gear every day of the week. Doubling down.
Gear.
Yeah. Mark is the one. I'm surprised he didn't show up in full Wolves kit, knowing that he's sent here.
I came this close to becoming that Wolves full kit wanker, but you know, this show is not going to be about Wolves. This show is going to be about two teams that are slugging it out at the top of the table, who will be showing their best form on Sunday in the FA Cup. So,
and what teams are we talking about?
We are talking about top of the table Liverpool and fourth place Arsenal.
So we're not just here to talk to me then. Okay.
Oh no.
So
No.
let's get right to it. We are doing a special co-stream. So right now, if you are watching this on the Stoop with Lolo's YouTube channel, hit that like, hit that subscribe, but go into the comments. You'll see up at the top, we have a link, a pinned comment that will take you straight to Dave's LFC chats. And we've got the man, the myth, the legend sitting right here, sweating with his old 70s curtains there. You're taking it back to the glory days.
Like an old
of Liverpool.
70s New York sitcom, baby.
That's right.
Absolutely.
We just need a funky theme song with some saxophone and some really bad synth.
Well, we've got some people in the comments already. Very good to see Mr. Tom in here. He says you're actually on the Stoop. I can't believe it either. I thought it'd be cold, but I'm so hyped up right now. I'm nice and warm.
It's hot.
Of course, we have Italy Jet in the house, who's a West Ham fan. He says go Irons. So I'm going to go ahead and kick him out of the chat. How do I do that? There he goes. Ciao, fellas. He's out.
He's like, screw this, man.
And from Dave's channel, we've got Mark Forrest with comments. So, Dave, I can see comments from your channel as well. So if you're watching this on Dave's, why don't you head over to our channel, give it a like as well, or subscribe, or wait till the end of the show. See if you like us. Okay, so, Dave, I'm going to go ahead and relinquish control. I usually host the shows, but I'm going to let the neutral over here, the informed man.
The amateur.
Take it away.
The amateur.
Take it away.
I am the amateur. It is
You're the
true,
amateur. Go.
But through you guys, I've learned the ropes. But as we had mentioned at the start of the show, we are going to be talking about Liverpool and Arsenal, their upcoming FA Cup match. But more importantly, where they are in that Premier League table.
You've got this halo hitting you as
know,
well. Like
I know. It's like, oh, that's part of the 70s graphics that we've got going on. But as we come into the halfway point of the season, heading into the winter break, we have Liverpool 45 points, top of the table. Many people didn't think it was possible. And in fourth place, we have Arsenal. At 40 points. This guy didn't think it was possible. He has his graphic with him on the throne and the crown. Top of the table, everybody.
That did me no good last year.
It did him absolutely no good last year. But
I'm only taking toilet shots now.
Hey, don't take away my video.
Subscribe to On the Stoop OnlyFans for all toilet shots.
All right. So at this point, I want to give you guys an opportunity to talk about like where you are, how you got there, how you feel your club is doing, individual squad members, and injuries that you guys have had to overcome. So, Dave, let's have you at
injuries. Dave, that's what I have to say about injuries. Get out of here, Dave. Injuries. I don't want to hear it.
I don't want to know about injuries. Don't worry about injuries. I didn't even mention the word injury. I didn't mention the bloody word. Look, anyway, guys, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everybody on the stream. It's great to see you on the Stoop. I think the last time I talked to you, Lolo, you were on the Stoop.
Yep.
That's how long ago it was.
That's how long ago it was.
How long ago it was, yeah. But, you know, I've had a lot going on in the background, so I'm getting back into it.
We can tell.
Yeah, and Liverpool are starting to show, as Cyndi Lauper would say, true colours, as far as I'm concerned, because I think Liverpool are ahead of themselves. They're the project slightly ahead of themselves at the moment. I wasn't expecting them to be top of the league, you know, semi-finals against Fulham now in the League Cup, Carabao Cup, Arsenal the weekend, and of course, last 16 in the Europa League. Slightly ahead of ourselves. We have injuries. Of course, we have injuries. Everybody's injuries. Not going to mention them again, right? Injuries, that's it. Finished. Finished. But, you know, yeah, look, in a great place. Happy. Klopp's happy. I've seen him in interviews. I know you might think he's moaning and crying, but I've actually seen him in a lot of interviews, press conferences where he's really happy about the squad. He likes the squad. It's a young squad. It's a rebuild, Klopp point two, whatever you want to call it. The midfield's totally new, which is a lot down to Klopp, to be fair. He's done a really, really good job fitting the guys in. It's not easy to fit 3-4 players in and have them playing like that. So I'm a happy camper, guys. I am a happy camper. I'm confident.
Well, Dave, I got to say, you and I were chatting back and forth in the summer window as that was coming to a close. And I remember saying something to you like, hey, you guys are quietly having one of these windows that could be all right just because, you know, the Caicedos and the Bellinghams didn't go. You've got a World Cup winner in McAllister who is he's just a silent workhorse. And he may not be exactly what you need, but for a stopgap, he's a fantastic addition to the team, especially when he pulls off a worldie every now and then.
I loved his play against Newcastle. The
ball through the Jota. The ball through the Jota was absolutely delicious. Delicious.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't a big fan of the dive.
No.
You know, but you know.
Hi.
But hey. Hey guys.
That's how you know you're really in Brooklyn, everybody. We got kids passing by there. He's an Arsenal fan. Don't talk to him. He's on my team, Dave. All right.
I can't
I'm sure we'll get a fire truck at one point.
You guys live in New York, sitting on the stoop. It's like a Cosby Show episode or something like that. And you know, or maybe even Silver Spoons, something like that. Silver Spoons may be better. But
well, he did try to slip something in my drink.
Hey, look, speaking of slipping in, we got a Wolves fan slipping in here. Debbie Lewis, your biggest fan,
hey,
Ballon d'Austin.
Ballon d'Austin. Yes.
Super Wolves.
Absolutely. You know, as far as Liverpool is concerned, you know, a lot of the Liverpool fans in Brooklyn and in New York were very, very cautious about like where they were going to be in the table. Were they going to be able to compete for top four? I honestly did not have any sort of doubt. I thought that it was a team.
Talking about Liverpool or Wolves?
I'm talking Liverpool. This is a Liverpool Arsenal show. Wolves we'll talk about at happy hour, which is Friday, 7:00 Eastern Standard Time. A shameless plug. Load in.
This is going to be an hour of plugs here.
But I was kind of like one of those things where I was like, you know, Liverpool they're playing well. And with the exception of you know, the little hiccup that they had with that offsides, not offsides call, I didn't think they'd be top, but I knew they would be close.
That's the only game. That's the only game we've lost. That hiccup. Diaz, this little goal at Spurs is the only game we've lost in the league. We've only lost one game.
Yeah, and even the red card. Who was it? Jota that got a red card in that game?
We two red cards. We 2 red cards.
That was silly. Yeah, they were doing everything in their power to give it to Tottenham.
Yeah.
But listen, this is.
Well, it is like a trophy. It is like a trophy to Tottenham, though. At the end of the day.
Oh my God! Yeah.
So, you have to give it to them.
Do you think they just like got into the locker room and broke out like this tin foil and started fashioning their own trophy?
Probably. They're desperate. They're desperate.
But let me just say, Liverpool were always a team in my head that it was so clear that they have such a team there that it's just going to take a few minor tweaks to fill in. You know, if you think about who you guys lost in the summer, some huge losses, even though these aren't world-class players of Jordan Henderson, Fabinho, Firmino. Those are 3 players who start 90% of your matches, or Firmino at least is a very important player, squad player and finisher for you.
The key to Liverpool, guys, this is the key to Liverpool. We buy players that want to play for the club, firstly. Secondly, work hard. And thirdly, are not superstars. They become superstars when you play for Liverpool, but they're not superstars coming in. That's the key.
Yeah, Mo Salah.
That's the key, guys.
Mo Salah.
Mo Salah, the king of Egypt. Mo Salah wasn't a superstar at Roma. Virgil van Dijk wasn't a superstar at
That's what
Southampton.
I'm listing off in your favor here. I'm saying
even
that,
Allison,
like,
even Allison was good at Roma.
Everybody's
course,
like,
but, you know,
oh well, look,
wow.
they have the likes of Mane, Firmino, Salah, Van Dijk, Allison, and I'm like, you didn't know who they were 2 years
there you go.
prior.
There you go.
If Southampton
he puts his
wouldn't
hand
have
into a
sold
bag
Mane
of coal
and
and takes out diamonds. Puts his bag into a bag of coal, takes out diamonds, baby.
No. That's wrong, because we know in the UK there is a term for Liverpool, and you are just explaining that you're called this for a reason. You're called the bin dippers, because you guys, you dip in the bin, you find garbage, and you turn it into food for the kids.
That's a big mistake to make. You better retract that quickly.
But you just said the same thing about shit and diamonds.
I'm gonna
I just said a bag of coal. Here's the police to take you away. Here's the police to take you away. They're coming for you now. Klopp has sent the cops for you. No. You got to get that analogy right. A bag of coal breaking into a diamond turns into a diamond. That's the difference. You can't eat diamonds.
So you're the diamond factory.
You better take all that coal that you got for Christmas and put it in the oven. Yeah, because I'd like to see how long it takes you to bake some diamonds out of coal. Anyway.
Well, all things being equal, we'll give Lolo a chance here to talk about his club, who are in fourth place at 40 points, I believe. A little dip of form right now, which has allowed Liverpool to be where they are. Something that was unexpected by me, because despite the fact that we weren't seeing the fireworks of Arsenal this season like we did early in the season last year, where they were scoring 3, 4, 5 goals a game and in rapid succession. This year we're seeing a little more almost restraint. At least what I see is a little more restraint. So we're seeing more kind of 1-0 victories, 2-1, but Arsenal is still winning in that Arsenal way. That match against Luton in the final second. What do we got?
Way to go, David. More likely to nick a player out of the back of your car while it's taking your hubcaps.
There you have it.
I love being all like we know what Liverpool people are. We don't know anything except what we're told.
I hope to visit someday. But Lolo, let's
you just want to be careful. You just want to be careful. That's all I'm saying.
We just don't want to go there and say these things.
Let's have you talk about your club and let us know what your thoughts are in the season so far.
Well, I mean, so it's tough, because you sign a player like Declan Rice, and you think, all right, here we go. You sign Jurrien Timber. Okay, that's awesome. That looks to be some great stuff. And then you sign Kai Havertz for a ton of money. Don't really make sense. And then the window's closed, and you're like, wait, weren't we supposed to get a striker?
Well, let's not forget about David Raya.
So I feel that we are underperforming where we should have stepped from last season. But if you look at all the changes that Arteta has made and forced in there, I would almost say we're overachieving with all of like this new style of football that he's trying to play. That's slow. That's keeping me it's keeping me from doing this. It's keeping me from celebrating any goals right now. I don't know where goals are coming from. And even though I've said Arsenal are not a 20, 30 goal striker team, Mikel Arteta wants 6-7 guys with 15 goals. Well, they're not coming from anywhere.
No, in fact, one of the things that I was actually saving for this show, if he was going to bring up goals, was that his Arsenal's front line of Martinelli, Jesus, and Saka is being outperformed by Wolverhampton's front three of Cunha, Hechan, and Sarabia, who barely even
Leeds
gets
United
to play.
fan just walked by the way. Leeds United over there. So
I knew Wolves would have to get in somewhere.
Yeah,
I knew Wolves were coming in somewhere.
We're coming in somewhere, absolutely. So yes, I do agree that Arsenal is definitely not scoring as prolifically as they had last
year.
Well,
it's become much more of a, okay, how are we going to avoid being beaten by a low block? Because last season we shocked teams. They weren't ready for us to be that aggressive and attacking. And then towards the end of the season, they, some lower blocks, some slowing down the game, allowing us to have possession, and we couldn't break them down. So they've restructured the whole style to own possession of the ball the entire match, get a couple goals, and just don't let the other team score. And when that works, sure, it's boring to watch, but it gets you the points. But when you get 30 some odd shots, a bunch that really should be goals, and you lose 2-0 to West Ham, should have been 3-0 to West Ham. I don't care what form West Ham are in. No, you get 30 shots on goal, like Liverpool against Newcastle, 30 shots on goal. Yes, they had like a 7-point-something XG. They still won the game by a shit ton of goals. They were frustrated for so long, but you know what? Yeah. They found ways in.
Right.
And so what is it that Arsenal are doing? So to answer your question, how am I at the halfway point here? I am happy that we are within touching distance. We're in the mixer. We're in a battle. But the only reason we are because so many other teams are good this season, which is only going to make it harder to actually win the league. It's not like we're just competing with City. If we drop a little, they're the only ones who go up. We dropped and went 3 places down, and Tottenham's right behind us. Yeah. Tottenham, who were we just threw them in the bin after losing 3 matches in a row. So
it's a crazy season, lads. It's an absolutely crazy season. It really is. I mean, City probably haven't played anywhere near as good as they can play. Let's be real.
No.
Will they come good in the second part of the season? Probably. But it's not a given. It's not a given. Liverpool, to be honest, haven't even played their well either. I'm not being funny, but if you've seen Liverpool over the last 4 or 5 years, they've been okay.
Yep. No, you've been fine. You guys have been one step away, and I think for a lot of Liverpool fans as well, you guys were upset that more drastic action wasn't taken after coming 1 point short, after having one of the highest point totals ever and coming 1 point
Don't go
short.
there. Don't go there.
That next season.
We twice only a point behind. Twice in the league.
Yeah.
Twice.
Right. But the very next season, something big needed to happen. Big money signing needed to come in. This season, as good as you're doing, it sort of needed to be the screw it, let's get Jude Bellingham, whatever. It would, to me, it would take something like that. Otherwise, it's going to have to just be a grinding it out type of season. And where Arsenal are hindered by so many teams doing well, you guys are being helped by it because you're just slowly doing your job, getting your points. You maybe draw, maybe lose an odd one here, and then just slowly getting your points. Meanwhile, Aston Villa's taking care of City. Arsenal, Wolves took care of City. Arsenal
everybody's cannibalizing each other, which helps everyone. It helps any team that has a chance of winning it. Liverpool, City, Arsenal. You would think the winner's going to come out of those 3. Realistically, I know Villa are up there, thereabouts. Who?
You drop 2 games like Arsenal just did, and all of a sudden you're like, it's not one team we got to catch up to.
It's only halfway, lads. It's only
halfway.
Yeah.
And I told Mark that today. I said, he's like, are you worried? And I said, Arsenal were like 10 points ahead with 5, 6, 7 matches to go, and we got caught. Yep. So as long as we're within 10, it's doable.
Well,
the only problem I have with Arsenal, have they really been in a run-in against a City or a Liverpool that have already done it? Arteta hasn't been. They haven't really.
Right.
Haven't really. Do you think Arteta can come up against Klopp or Pep? Let's say March, April. There's 2-3 points between them. Say 5, 6, 7, 8 games to go. When the squeaky bum time, basically. That's when it tells. Klopp's done it 2, 3, 4 times. Unlucky once or twice. A point in it. Villa were 2-0 up at the Etihad. Or at the Etihad. Do you remember that? 2-0 up Villa.
Yep.
Liverpool only needed them to draw and they lost 3-2.
Yep.
And we would have won the bloody league.
Yep. I remember watching that. We were out here watching all the final matches. We were watching all the final matches, and that one's
Liverpool is one of the, I think it's the only and Arsenal as well, were the only squads that we didn't get points against that are like in the top 6 or something. And with that being said, and something that you guys were talking about how it doesn't take much to drop or go up on the table, as someone that has only been watching Premier League football for just a few years, I've always been treated to a 2-team race. I've always been treated to a runaway. I mean, the year Liverpool won it, that was practically a runaway, and I remember what a big turmoil it was to have lost to I think it was Watford.
I loved it.
Watford,
invincible saving season.
Yeah, exactly. But it's always just been like it's either been a runaway, either City ran away with it, you guys ran away with it, or a 2-team race. It is very exciting to go into January and have what is possibly a 5 or 6-team race. And it makes for really fun football.
I still think it's only a 3-team race.
Sorry. Yeah. I think honestly,
City or Liverpool.
Okay,
I mean, anybody
that's fine.
Anybody who finishes above Arsenal, Liverpool, and City.
Yeah,
I'd agree with you on that.
To me now.
So we're at the 20-minute mark. Just to end this section of conversation, my last thing I want to say about the first half of the season is I can't wait for everyone to cheer and say what a genius Arteta is, because he told his players, look, 2023 sucks. That's the season we didn't win the league. Let's get all the worst playing we possibly have. I want you guys to wear your boots on your wrong foot, go out there, play terribly, drop as many points as possible in the last 3 games. Liverpool, we tried to give it to you with like a 5-on-1, and Trent sorted over the bar. But drop as many points, boom, and then don't lose again the rest of the season. Have a great 2024. So I just can't wait for everybody to go, Arteta, what a genius. More people should try this, where they just tank the end of the season.
Just tank
the middle of tank the end of the year.
Why not? We have points.
Go out on break.
Like
we have
fair
points.
change on homeless people.
We were going to win the league by 12, so now we'll just win it by a comfortable 3.
If you had your wrong boots on for West Ham, I think you had your house slippers on for Fulham.
Look, there's a long way to go. As I said, just lads, I think the season doesn't start till March. That's when the nitty-gritty hits, baby.
You just got to stay in it. You just got to stay in it.
You've got to stay in it to win it. You've got to be there in around March, Paddy's Day, middle of March, ready to rock and roll. And if you're in it then, 2, 3, 4 points off the top, let's go, baby.
Let's go. All right, Mark, what's our next topic?
All right. So, as the newbie of football in general, one of the things that I run across on various threads and various feeds is the idea of the world-class player. And you read lists and you see who's world-class, and it's pretty much for the last few years been the same people. Ronaldo, Messi, Mbappe, and we know who's world class on, or at least I know, and I think a lot of people would agree. As far as Liverpool is concerned, definitely Mo Salah. But every once in a while, I kind of slide over into those Arsenal threads, and there's the screaming of how Bukayo Saka is a world-class player, and that he is comparable or equal to, or I would take Saka over Salah every single time. And in that case, that Saka has risen above and has taken his game to that level, and Salah, as he's gotten older, not quite the sure thing anymore. He's not quite the player he was. What do you guys think of that? I mean,
absolute bullshit.
Further. There we go.
Absolute New York bullshit, baby. Sorry. No chance.
No, this is worldwide. I'm not just reading threads in New York, I'm an international individual.
I have to get the NYPD to arrest you for that, absolute craziness. Yeah. What do you call it? Hill Street Blues. Take them away, baby. But No chance. I mean, he's a good young player and stuff. Nah, I mean, different level.
Well,
do it for 10 years and I'll talk to you.
See, now there's something to me. Mark and I were having a discussion of what does world class actually mean. You know, he was starting to mention certain players, and I had to say from my own opinion, like I only think there's a handful of world class players in the Premier League, because to me, world class is such a high. It's something that has to be indisputable.
Yeah.
And right now, maybe you're
I think
not
it's
seeing
floated around too easy, Lolo. I think the word legend and the word world class are being watered down. Sorry.
No.
Watered down.
Absolutely.
You can't water down legends. You can't water down world. You know, you see players that played in the 90s and all these players. Oh, he was a legend. No, he wasn't. You know what you're talking about, you know?
People talking, Arteta, a club legend. And I'm like, Arteta is not a club legend.
No.
It's also really funny how those things are measured, and it's like, you know, it almost comes down to that whole like where it gets elevated from the street remembers, because I see things of like, you know, Joe Smith was with Wolves and he played 3 games.
Steve Bull was a legend. Fucking Wolves, wasn't he? Steve Bull.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh my God.
Do you know
Aaron
what I say
Ramsey,
for legends,
the
though?
Arsenal legend. You're like, wait, what?
Lolo, I know how you can measure a legend or a World Cup player. It's called the Planck length. It's actually 0. In other words, you know, it's the smallest length you can actually measure in the universe. But I mean, it's crazy.
Well, let me sort of go into this a little bit, because I see it on Arsenal chatter all the time about the conversation of who's the best winger in the league, who's the best right winger in the league. And beginning of the season, nobody, at least once again, my Twitter feed is very Arsenal heavy, but Saka top, Salah second. Saka is world class, Salah is finished. And to me, I'm just like, you can't
grow up.
World class is not one game. Yeah. World class is not one season. World class is being able to
5, 6, 7, 8 seasons.
And the fact that you being on the pitch is always a concern for the other team. And as much as I love Saka, and I want to even include Virgil van Dijk. Virgil van Dijk is another one on your squad that I would say is one of the few world-class players.
And Alisson Becker in goal.
No.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to side with you, Dave. I think Alisson is. I think he's world-class because he's been the top.
He's been top
one of the top for
years.
so long.
Take Virgil van Dijk out. He is not world-class.
Virgil van
Dijk does all the work. Trent Alexander-Arnold is so good because he doesn't have to defend when Virgil van Dijk is in the lineup.
So allow me to...
You can't have a world-class keeper with a world-class defender.
Those 3 are world-class.
Get out of here.
That's it.
I give it to Dawson before.
Calm down, guys. Just calm down here. I want to ask Dave a question, because this is something that we did see, and I want to see if he knows, because I don't remember. But, you know, obviously Alisson in the net when Virgil van Dijk gets injured by Pickford early in that season. Was it 2 years ago? I want to say
first match, right?
In like the first or second match. How did Liverpool do that season?
When Van Dijk got injured?
Yeah, when they
second,
where did they finish?
Oh yeah,
well, I think he finished second.
He's part of the spine. How would you do when you miss the bone area spine? You wouldn't be able to walk.
Well, no. I mean,
Liverpool's spine is Alisson, Van Dijk, and Salah.
Yeah.
That's the spine.
But I'm just kind of curious.
It'll tell if you miss one of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you guys finished second that season.
Yeah.
Is that? Yeah. So there you have it. I mean, that's a world-class keeper filling in for someone. You know, if the guy's not there and you continue to do well, that says something.
He's all right.
He's all right.
No, Alisson is very, very good.
Alisson is for Lolo. Who's better than him? There's the question.
Aaron Ramsdale.
Better.
He can't even get a sniff.
Oh my God.
He's gonna be in a Wolves uniform in January.
Who starts for Brazil? Who starts for Brazil?
Alisson.
Okay, there you go. I'll give it to Allison then, because I hate Ederson.
Allison
I
starts
hate
more
him
than
with a
Ederson.
passion.
That's what I'm trying
I
to say
hate
to you.
Ederson with a passion.
Yeah.
So let me just get this out. For all those Arsenal fans who are comparing Saka to Salah, they're comparing Saliba to Van Dijk. So quick to say, best center back in the league, world class, Rolls Royce, best winger in the league, most frightening player to come up against in the league, Saka. I think we can praise Saka a ton. He deserves it. The boy deserves it. He's an incredible player. We can praise Saliba and call him our Rolls Royce, because he is. He is our Rolls Royce. He is leaps and bounds better than any other defender we have and most defenders in the league. I think he might even one day be on par or better than Van Dijk. Maybe. But to right now compare going into the last 10 games of a season, you are fighting for the league. You are points away. There's a point or two difference between you and another team, whatever the other team is. Would you rather have Virgil van Dijk or Saliba, Salah or Saka? That's where it gets world class to me.
Do you want
and
me to
I
answer
say as
that
an
question?
Arsenal,
Do you want me
I
to
say
answer
as an
that
Arsenal fan, to finish out the league, you need world class. And I'm sorry, but I go with Van Dijk and I go with Salah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
all day long, all night long, as Lionel Richie would say, all night long. Big time.
Now we're demonetized. Thank you very much for singing that song. He's the only one who watches our show.
Yeah.
And then he's just going to pull up in a limo and go, that's my song.
Outrageous.
We were singing it different. All night long, all night long, all night long. All night. Oh no, I went into Yellow Submarine. That's
David
even worse.
Here is posting. Let's see how the Gunners and the Bin Dippers get on with the AFCON impacting their squads. Also the Asian. We also have the Asian Cup of Nations.
I want to ask you a question about Endo, Wataru Endo, the Japanese captain. I'll tell you, the last 5-6 weeks, that guy has just played out of his skin. Our Japanese samurai in the midfield's been brilliant. He's missing now, of course, because he's in Asia for a few weeks. So him and Salah are missing. So 2 big losses. He's been one of the first names on the sheet since probably start of December. What are you
should have got sent off against Arsenal.
Whatever.
2 ugly yellow card challenges.
Yeah, still complaining about the David Luiz red card.
Yeah, but with him in there as a number 6 holding the play, Liverpool gives the likes of Curtis Jones or a few other players up front chance to go forward. We weren't able to do that, you know?
Yeah. I think you bring up a really interesting point there. You know, I also have been really impressed with Endo's play, and I do think it has opened up things for Curtis Jones. He had a goal. Was it this past match against Newcastle, or was it the week before that? I'm not sure.
Curtis Jones was Newcastle, I believe.
I mean, Curtis Jones is starting to score goals. He's starting to look dangerous. He's getting tackles in. He's doing loads of running. But he's freer, isn't he? He's been let off the reins. He's been let do what he does best, you know? So.
Yeah. Endo is going to be a big miss for you guys. Obviously, Salah is going to be a big miss for you guys. And these are teams that can go pretty deep into their respective club or their country cups. You know, Arsenal will be affected in some respect, but not nearly as much as I think as Liverpool. You guys are going to be missing Tomiyasu and El Nene.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
And Tomiyasu's been injured. El Nene's been injured. So Tomiyasu's the bigger miss, especially because I feel Japan should go very far, if not win it.
I agree.
They've got such a solid team. And we're going to be looking at Japan more and more, especially after this next World Cup, where I think they did so well before in the previous World Cup. And they're like this unexpected thing, but you just see the way they're playing, very composed, yet free-flowing football, where we get Tomiyasu. Where the heck did he come from? Oh, Japan? Okay, you get Endo. Everybody's like, who the hell is this guy? And you know what? He's quietly going about his business, and he's being solid for you and allowing exactly what Dave said, allowing play those other midfielders to push a little bit further, because he's got them covered back there. And you know what? He works his ass off.
I can see a lot more Japanese players playing in the Premier League in the future. We had Minamino and Mitoma at Brighton. Great work etiquette. Japanese, 100% will work for the club. No moaning in the background. You top, confidence. Great with languages. Just top type of people. And I can see loads more coming. Big time.
Yeah, I definitely think that we're seeing a kind of a shift where eyes are kind of leaving Eastern Europe and leaving, some of the smaller countries in Central and South America and working their way and looking at some of these elite players in Asia. You mentioned Mitoma, we have Endo, we have Tamiyasu. Wolverhampton has that Korean guy. He's pretty good. And so it's going to be really fun to see like how those things are going to be explored. I know Tottenham is looking at someone in the January.
They've got Son. They've got South Korean Son, who's a
they've got the best, I think, of the whole bunch. So
we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
And mentioning mentioning the winter window. What are your hopes and dreams?
The winter window.
This winter window, this January window,
with these
fabulous Happy Days curtains behind you. Oh shit! He got so excited for his curtains.
Hold on,
curtains for you.
I want to do my little winter, winter window, just to see if there anybody outside. No.
See, it's proof that we're not in the same spot.
We ain't signing
nighttime out there.
We ain't signing anybody. It's dark here in Dublin.
Pat.
It is pitch dark. Huh?
You're gonna hold Pat? Or are you saying Liverpool doesn't need anyone?
I can't see us signing anybody. No. We've players coming back. Thiago is not far away, far as I know. I think Robertson is about 3 to 4 weeks away. Matip is out for the season. I think it was a bad ACL with him. But we've players coming back.
Then, haven't you also lost
Szoboszlai has a bit of a hamstring issue. Yeah, Szoboszlai has a hamstring issue. He won't make Arsenal though. We've a lot of good few injuries.
Yeah.
Speaking of these injuries and Andy Robertson coming back, let me ask you and the Liverpool fans who are in the chat. Big up to a lot of people who I see who are on your chat right now, Dave. Bonnie FC, if you want to say hi to these people. Al-Kailani Omer, I'm sorry, you're far away. I can't really, if I messed that up. And Mark Forrest has been in the comments just to make sure you say hi to these guys and girls.
Hi, guys.
But let me ask you, how important is the most energetic pothead I've ever seen in my life, Tsimikas? How important is it? How important is it to have such a good backup where he fills in for Trent and he fills in for Andy Robertson? And you know what? Teams don't go, okay, we're going to attack that side.
He's injured at the moment. That's the bloody problem. He's injured.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
He's injured. We miss him. That's what I'm saying. He's injured as well. Robertson, he was the cover for Robertson. He's injured. I mean, Gomez is filling in for everybody. We're lucky with utility man Gomez because he's starting to step up.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate Gomez. He has such a good
mentioning the word injury, and I just keep saying he's bloody injured because we've got 8 players out. But we've a really good squad. We've a really good squad this year. So I'm not complaining.
Yeah, I think there is some importance to standing pat and kind of keeping that continuity and chemistry going, and I think it's going to work well for Liverpool. Good sir. We
Debbie
want
Lewis.
Jota back. No,
we want you to have Jota back too.
Want Jota back.
We hate
Jota.
I
live the Lotta.
I live in
Arsenal.
the future.
He loves Arsenal. He loves Arsenal, baby.
Watching. I live in the future. I don't live in the past. I don't live with the Espirito Santos. I don't live with Jota. I don't live with the Donker. They don't get rent in this space right here. I move forward. Whatever Gary O'Neill wants, I'm right there. Anyway, Lolo.
I want you to take Jota back.
I don't want
Jota back. Especially when he's playing against Arsenal.
Exactly. He just mentioned all these players who aren't going to be there on Sunday. I don't care because the one who's fit is Jota. I want Nunez to start. Can't hit the broadside of a barn.
Give him time. I think that's why you're going to survive Salah being in the African Cup, because that front line is pretty deep and you have lots of options.
I'd give you Martinelli for Jota.
No thanks.
What?
No thanks.
Really?
Yeah, I love Jota.
First of all, they're completely different.
Yeah, Jota gives us something totally different. Totally different.
I don't care. I'm
He's
still
like
saying I would give him to you.
Fox in the box.
And he's like this tall.
He's probably what Arsenal need. He's exactly what Arsenal want. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Martinelli has all of his tricks and his speed, but then by the time he gets to the box, everyone's there.
Right.
And it's like, oh, what are we doing? Jota just runs and sticks his foot out whenever he can. Yeah. And you know what? Sometimes if you just put your foot on the ball, it can go in or at least bounce off of somebody or do something. Yeah. We're like, blow the whistle, game over. Oh, you guys did
Jota's very intelligent. Jota's very intelligent. You know, he's always in the right place, makes the right type of runs, very clinical type. I think he's one of the best finishers at Liverpool.
I hate him.
Yeah, no, he's a great finisher. And I think that someone like Jota is very much what Arsenal had hoped that Jesus would be for the squad. You know, someone with the nose for the net. Not really since he got injured during the World Cup. He hasn't had time to heal. He hasn't had time. I feel in a certain sense that Arsenal's kind of maybe pushed him a little faster than it should be. But when you're competing at the top, you have. You know, you got to do what you got to do.
As true as that might be, I don't think that's the problem. I think it's a setup type of problem of like right now we have too many players who do the same thing. That right now we need somebody in the box, but then we throw on Nketiah and we're like, well, no, our whole entire team is built off of everybody running everywhere, so we can't just throw someone in the box. That's why they're saying, oh, Ivan Toney, we need Ivan Toney. Okay, we're going to throw him in the box, but then we're never going to get possession in the midfield because we're set up for the striker to do so much more, to almost have a false nine, but we also need a real nine. And that's what I think Havertz is there for, is to like, oh, you know, when we need somebody big in the box, he'll be there. But Havertz just wanders around like a lost little gazelle.
Oh, but he's starting to find his place in the puzzle.
An expensive gazelle.
An expensive
gazelle. Absolutely.
Let's be, you know what I mean? So look, guys, your squad isn't bad either. I tell you, the weekend's going to be crazy. I think it'll be a good game. But I'm going to say something controversial to you. It's not Liverpool's most important game.
And that's interesting that you bring that up, because I would like to ask, it's the third round of the FA Cup. It's kind of like it's kind of interrupting that early portion of everyone's winter break. You know, given all the other competitions that teams deal with, whether they're in Europa, whether they're in the Champions League, and not to mention international duty, do these cups matter? The Carabao Cup, which you guys are in the semifinal, and in the FA Cup, do these trophies matter? Do they still have the same weight that they did 20 years ago?
I'm an 80s boy. Grew up following Liverpool since the mid-80s when they were top of the tree, of course.
He's still there.
Do you hear that beep? That was a good one, brother. Top of the tree, beep, beep. And look, we're top of the tree still, yeah. But the FA Cup
petrol
was
truck.
Bigger in the 80s and 90s. I have to say it now. The League Cup, Milk Cup, whatever you want to call it, was bigger than the 80s and 90s. Ever since Sky Sports took over the Premier League, what was it, 92-93 season, and took away with the Premier League. Champions League came into it. It devalued the two cups. It really did. Two domestic cups. There's no doubt about it. Still great to win them, a day out at Wembley and all that type of thing. But they're nowhere near. I mean, I heard a fella saying last year, well, would you rather win the FA Cup or get a top four spot? And most of the people in the thing would say a top four spot because it was because of money. But for me, it's still, a cup is a big day out. I mean, Liverpool play a semi-final first leg on the Wednesday after the Arsenal game. And I just have a feeling, I'm not being funny here, guys, Liverpool will mix it up on Sunday. They won't play their strongest team. I'm not being funny here.
Yeah, no, I know. Seriously. And I feel like Arteta's going to put his strongest team out there.
And I think Arsenal go full punishment. Strength. Yeah.
As punishment of like, go do something. But Dave, here we go. Arsenal last season, first place for 90% of the league season. We end second. We end trophyless. Manchester Scum United win a stupid trophy and finish in Champions League spot. They had the better season. It's hard to argue that they didn't have the better season because of that trophy, because all we got was top 4. Second place doesn't matter.
I'm not saying I'm not sure Liverpool want to win the League Cup. I mean, we're in the semis. And we play Fulham at home. We should be beating Fulham home and away, and either Chelsea or Middlesbrough in the final. There's a cup for you in February.
Yeah.
At Wembley.
Right.
I'm not saying I want Liverpool. We won the double cups there 2 years ago. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we have a lot of games coming up. Yeah. I'm just saying away in Emirates, never easy anyway. Even with your full team, it's going to be a tough bloody game. So I'm just thinking Klopp's psychology, maybe. I might just mix it up here. If we win, fantastic. If we lose, well, we have a big semi on Wednesday night at Anfield. It's not quite. I mean, if we hadn't got that semi-final, I'm sure he would have went full. You know, now we could be wrong. Could be watching this stream going, I'm going to fuck, you know, him and his 80s fucking, you know, curtains behind him. I'm going to show him and go full strength. But I just can't see him going full strength on Sunday and full strength on Wednesday. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
Will you have Salah on Sunday? Or
no, Salah's gone. Endo's gone.
He's already gone.
Slabasai's gone. Robertson's gone. Simicas is gone. Piasetic is gone. Thiago is gone. You know what I mean?
You guys will just be grabbing a couple of stewards out of the stands and getting them dressed.
And we'll get slaughtered 6-0.
You know,
the big question is when all these boys come back.
Yeah, no doubt.
Players.
Yeah, I have many of those questions as well. But, you know, back to the question of whether or not it's a worthy cup. It's always interesting because the cup it seems to be with the fan base to be very, very worthy until you're out of it. And then it's like, it's a bullshit cup. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
It might as well be called
the loser cup. Mentality, though. That's no one gave a fuck.
Right.
About
no, exactly.
No one gave a shit about it.
But I think you know where I'm going there.
But that's what I'm saying.
No, I have a point in my madness. My point in my madness is we've got we've got a semi-final on a Wednesday night with a very good chance, let's say. We're probably favourites to win that cup. We're in the semis. We have a home and away against Fulham and a final against Chelsea or Middlesbrough. Never know. Right? There's a final for you. So you have a game against Arsenal in the FA Cup. There's a long way to go in that FA Cup. You could get to the final and lose it. You know what I mean? But we could win the League Cup. So I'm saying, what do? Do you go full strength against Arsenal and get another 1 or 2 bloody injuries, be bollocks for the Wednesday night? Or do you say, right, I'll just hold back 3 or 4 players here, have them on the bench if I need them, you know, play a slightly weak, not a real weakened team, and go full strength Wednesday.
Considering everything Dave is saying, so I think what we're saying is it's more important to Arsenal.
I think it's a more important game
because it's the only trophy that we have.
And you're
not the only trophy. We have Champions League and we have the league.
You've got the charity cup. Or the charity dish,
shut up.
Whatever.
Going forward. Hey, Spurs don't have that. All right, so forget it. But going forward, we're still in this cup. So you know what? Let's go for it. The problem being, it is so early on. Like when we were checking, okay, are we home or away? And I looked up the FA Cup. There's still like 20 teams in it. So I get what you're saying, Dave. Like winning this isn't like, okay, now you're in the final. It's like, okay, now you got 6 more weeks, you know, like 6 more extra matches if you go all the way. So I think it's a weird time for Arsenal to be playing Liverpool.
This is where
we should probably be playing lower teams.
This is where the decisions for the Klopp type manager comes in and goes, right, this is my team, big game against Sunday at Arsenal on the telly. It's the big tide around, let's say, right?
Yeah.
At Emirates, it's never easy to go there, even with a full strength team, even with no injuries. If Liverpool had everybody back and they were going down on the coach, it's still going to be a tough game. And you've a Wednesday semi. And you've got a league game with your top of the league in between that and the semi-final, second leg. You've Chelsea at the end of the season. And you're saying to yourself, do I go strong on Sunday with a chance of getting knocked out, injured, tired for Wednesday? Or do I ease it on Sunday and go strong Wednesday?
That's a really interesting kind of take on it.
You've got to be
because,
mental about it. You've got to be
I looked at the
psychological about it.
fixtures.
You got
Liverpool is playing 5 games in the month of January. It's not much of a winter break.
No, they're not getting the break because of the double semi. The double semi.
Fulham twice, Arsenal, Bournemouth,
and Chelsea.
And Chelsea. That's 5 in the month of January.
I think Mark Forrest says right here, Salah could be missing the next 10 games.
No.
That depends.
Depending how far they go, depending how far Egypt go,
and
because of how
that's an Einstein equation.
When's the end of the African Cup? Because the Asian Cup ends on the 10th of February, I want to say.
I mean, that's a whole month, and you just said seven matches or so.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. The League Cup final is
plus
the middle of February.
League Cup,
the League Cup final.
2 of those, and the FA Cup. So that's like 10 matches.
That's crazy.
So that's why I'm saying I think he's got to weigh up everything. Sit down and weigh it all up and go, right, the squad's here. What team can I play for Sunday? What team can I play for Wednesday?
Yeah.
That's the way it has to be done. I'm sure it's the way he does do it, but I'm just saying. I don't want to throw the FA Cup under the bridge and say it's a worthless cup. The FA Cup is a bigger cup than the League Cup, but we're in the semi-finals of the League Cup. We're not in the semi-finals of the FA Cup.
Hey, hold on. Since we're out of the League Cup, can we go ahead and call it by its real name and the Sports Drink Cup?
You want to call it the Mickey Mouse Cup?
No, the Sports Drink,
the Sippy Cup,
Energy Drink Cup. Yeah, the Carabao Cup.
Carabao.
Which over here in the States we don't have Carabao energy drinks. So
I've never even seen the bloody stuff.
We all think it's the caribou, like the animal,
or the coffee shop.
So did I.
That's kind of weird too, because I think I looked up Carabao energy drink, and it's like a Filipino brand.
I haven't got a clue.
Which I don't even understand how
it's
even
been
fits
sponsored
in with English
by
football.
the weirdest. Ever since I remember that it was called the back in the 80s and 90s, it was called a crazy data systems cup. It was called the Coca-Cola Cup, the Milk Cup, the League Cup, the Disneyland Cup, whatever you want to call it. It's a day out. It's a day out of Wembley. It's a day out of Wembley. It is a cup. It's a domestic cup. Yeah. It's an actual cup.
Right. Next year it'll be called the Reverend Horton Heat and Air Conditioning Cup.
Yeah. just call it the Pee Wee Herman.
Call it the Pee Wee Herman Memorial Cup.
There we go.
All right, guys. We're coming down to our last few minutes of the show. Let's regardless of who's fielding what team, what is our predictions for Sunday? Dave, talk about what you think's going to happen.
Let's talk about the game. Well, it depends on the lineup. I mean, if Klopp goes with a weakened side, I can see Arsenal beating them because I think Arsenal are going to go strong. I think Arsenal will go strong. I think it's more important for Arsenal to win at home against Liverpool and then to say maybe give them some sort of catalyst for the start of the season because they've got a bit sluggish. So I think they're going to go as strong as they can. Liverpool with the semi on Wednesday will mix it up a little bit, which a bit of jeopardy there. I think we might get a draw. I think a draw will be the best Liverpool could get. Maybe then have a replay, be another bloody game, which will defeat the whole purpose of the whole bloody thing. That's the dynamics, the equations of the universe we're living in. But I think it's going to be
telling me how good we are at home.
For Liverpool.
Keep telling me how good Arsenal are at home because
I'm not saying they're any even good. I'm just saying if Liverpool play a weakened team, I'm trying to help you here. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to be positive, but I just don't know what Klopp is going to do. If he plays a weakened team, it's going to be tough for Liverpool. If he plays a strong team, it's going to be tough for Arsenal. You know?
All right.
Head says Arsenal, heart says Liverpool.
Do you have a score prediction?
Well, I think if Arsenal do, as I say, go strong and Liverpool go slightly weak, it's going to be tough for Liverpool. I'd say Arsenal win 2-1. But I don't know. It's been a strange fucking season. It's been a strange season. Anything's possible. Yeah. Jota might show up. We know he likes a goal. We know he likes a goal at the Emirates, but it all depends on the lineups, lads, which we probably won't find out until about an hour before kickoff.
Yeah.
Right.
It really is a jeopardy game.
With a draw, 0-0. A 0-0.
Could be a 0-0. A 0-0 will suit nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
I don't
replay,
think a
a
draw will
replay.
suit either of you because then there's the replay.
I
Yeah.
think 0-0. If it's 0-0 and like the 96th minute of 7 minutes stoppage, I say Saliba just walks it into our own goal and goes, no.
That's it.
No,
We're
no,
done.
no.
I'll
Sorry.
take that. I'll take
I'm
that.
heading to the beach.
I am not doing this again. We have to play them in the league like shortly after.
Yeah, like 3-4
4th
weeks
of
after.
February. 4th of
Yeah.
February in the league.
Yeah. So I say just walk it in. Just walk it in. Just be done with it. Win or lose.
So what
no
do you
draw,
think, Lolo?
please.
What is the FA Cup not important to Arsenal now? Surely
So
it's important.
It has to be. It has to be. Yeah, especially because the more seasons we go along with Arteta winning one FA Cup, pretty much because Pulisic broke his leg, because he was destroying us in the FA Cup against Chelsea 3 years ago or something. And when he won, I went, shit. That means Arteta's in for 3 more years at least. It's like, man, if he would have just lost that, he'd be kicked out the next season. We would have gotten Unai Emery back. I'm just kidding. These are not solutions to any problem. But I think
I did tell you to hold on to Arteta about 2 years ago. Remember the
yeah,
pod we did?
Yeah. I think it is it's very important, and to me, less important that okay, let's advance in the cup. Right now, we're all messed up. Arsenal is all messed up. We've lost ourselves. We need to take these 2 losses on the chin, man up, look at ourselves, see what went wrong, know that we have one more game before we go on like a 2-week summer
hiatus.
It's not a hiatus. They go and train. They're going to like Dubai or somewhere.
Yeah, everyone trains in Dubai.
So,
I know the Wolves are heading there after the break.
We're just playing a semi-final. It's okay, lads. We leave you in Dubai. Sunning yourselves.
It's fine.
That's okay. We'll let you get all worn out.
But to go in Dubai saying we just beat Liverpool, whoever they played, we just beat Liverpool. We're starting to figure out ourselves again. Let's regroup for a week or so, have a group vacation workout where we can come back together and sort of regroup. It will be, I believe that training will be a lot more effective with a mindset of, okay, back to winning ways. And it was Liverpool, and we gave our fans something to cheer about at home. Right. Let's give you guys felt the fans were on our side. If we lose to Liverpool at the Emirates, it could turn toxic. And that's the last thing our players are seeing when they go away. And all they're thinking is like, oh my God, that was so bad.
I'm in complete agreement.
So
with
that's
that.
why it's so important.
I think this becomes an important game, not because it's the FA Cup, not because of anything in that competition, but because it's Liverpool and it's at home, and we won't see our team for like 10, 14 days. The performance has been terrible. In fact, the last time you guys played at home, you weren't quite booed off the pitch, but there was some awful noise coming, and it was not positive. Yeah. So a win would go a long way for the psyche of the fans, but more importantly for me, I think it goes a little more for the psyche of the players, that there is, at least when we come back, there was a winning note.
Yeah.
Coming in
the
our
only
direction.
The only caveat I'll throw into that is Klopp might be thinking the same as well, and he could say, well, it's a good time to catch Arsenal. Play a strong side. They might think we're going to go weak. Let's go strong. Let's go strong.
Yeah, exactly.
And just keep them down there. Don't give them any bloody confidence.
Yeah,
that's possible too. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what. I couldn't name the team Liverpool are going to play. I don't know. I don't bloody know. Seriously.
Well, if anything, it's been a topsy-turvy season, and I don't think that this match will be any sort of exception. Final notes, guys, as we are approaching the end of our broadcast. Anything you guys want to add toward the end? I'm just going to say go Wolves.
I'm just going to say Happy New Year to everybody watching the show. Enjoy football for the next 4 or 5 months. It's going to be crazy. It's been crazy up to now. I'm expecting more craziness in the months to follow. Liverpool are top. Will they be top at the end of the season? Only time will tell, my friend. Let's go. Stay safe. Talk soon. You'll never walk alone.
All right. Thank you, Dave. That's Dave from LFC Chats. For all of you that know, for all of you that don't know.
I don't get to say my final thoughts?
Oh.
I gave him a little, I let him host the show, and all of a sudden he's like, final thoughts for our guest.
The legend continues.
Lolo, you can follow Lolo on Twitter if you want to find out his final thoughts. And follow On the Stoop with Lolo to see if Mark is still allowed on the show.
Hopefully, I will always be allowed on the show. But no, final thoughts. What's our final thoughts?
My final thoughts is, hey, we are being treated to something this season, and we all need to enjoy it. The fact that it is not a one-team race, it is not a two-team race. The fact that we have Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Aston Villa, Tottenham, and right behind them, West Ham, Wolves, like knocking Brighton around. You know, Brighton, who's supposed to be up there as well. Chelsea, Manchester United, hovering in the mid-table. Oh, what an enjoyable season.
There's
right?
a lot going on. There's a lot going on.
So let's enjoy it. And let's just remember, let's not fight against each other so much so that City just walks away with it, okay? Maybe towards the end of the season, we go, hey, yeah, you guys need to win this. City can't win this again, okay?
You've just hit it on the head. The last few years, a lot of teams laid down against City. They were afraid of them. There was fear. You haven't seen that this season. Teams are coming out against them, attacking them, and that's why maybe City haven't been as good.
Yep, going after them. So, yeah, Happy New Year to everybody as well. All right. As we said before, Mark and I do On the Stoop with Lolo, which is maybe how you're streaming this. If not, you're streaming it on Dave's channel. This is our first multi-stream stream. Looks like it was successful. So thank you guys for joining us on Dave's channel or on our channel. Whichever one you're on right now, go to the other and subscribe to them as well. Dave is good crack, as they say, even if you're not a Liverpool supporter.
And we're okay.
And we're a lot of fun. So
just about okay.
Join us every Friday night at midnight in the UK, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we do happy hour. We talk a lot of nonsense and lots of opinions. But for now, we're gonna call it a day. Mark, you wanna do the honors?
I want to just say thank you, everyone. You do right by us by taking your time out of your day to give us a watch, or maybe you're watching this in the somewhere in the far and distant future. But again, we will see you. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, me. Thank you, Lolo. We love you all. That's all I got. Let's play us out.
Come on, you Gunners!